Okay, let's do this. So this week I'm going to show you how you can use loops inside your events. In order to understand everything that's been explained today, you'll need to have watched both my conditional branches and variable tutorial videos. If you haven't already, the link are inside the description. Well, let's get started. Okay, so loops are little blocks inside your events that you can access through over here under flow control in your event comments. And that what happens inside that little block is gonna repeat itself over and over again until something comes around which will break the loop. So you have two options here. You have one to create loop and the second one is breaking loop to get out of it. A good way to use loops inside your games is with tutorials. So assuming that we had this character giving our players a little tutorial on something. So let me give you a tutorial on whatever. And then I'm gonna have this NPC go inside the loop and explain this say tutorial. So proceeds to explain the tutorial. Now at some point he's gonna ask the player if you got all of this, which is the classic phrase, did you get all of this? And the player of course is gonna have the choice between saying yes or no. So yes or no. Now if he says yes, this is what's gonna break the loop, so entirely gonna get out of this and gonna have the character then say, great, have a nice day then. Because the player did get the explanations. Now if the player wasn't sure of what he just read and wanted the sentence to get repeated again, he could just say no, in which case that will not break the loop, and once the event reaches the line here repeat above, it's gonna go back at the very beginning of the loop and proceed to redo everything that's inside this little block over here. So let's just see this in practice, shall we? So let me save, let's run the game, and let's see the result. Let's talk to the whole guy over here. Let me give you a tutorial, then proceeds to enter the loop. So then the character proceeds to explain the tutorial, and he has the player if you got all of this. So if I answer no, it's gonna repeat the loop over and over again until I say yes. So proceeds to explain the tutorial again. Did you get all of this? No. Then this is gonna go on forever until something breaks the loop, and the only way to break the loop is by answering yes. And if I do this, great, have a nice day then. And the event is over, and we can go back to playing the game. Now another way to use loops and get out of it is not with choices, but let's say that we wanted to repeat an event a specific amount of time, which once it's been reached, we want the loop to break. So let's say that we want the character here to repeat the tutorial, let's say 3 times for some reason, and once those 3 times has been completed, we want to get out of the loop. Now, the way to do this is with variables. Okay, so let me give you a good example on how you can achieve this. First, we're gonna delete the show choices, which and the break loop over there. Gonna also remove the did you get all of this because we're not gonna ask a question to the player. We're just gonna do the loop 3 times and then we're gonna get out of it, no matter what. So first, we're gonna need to create a new variable for this. So control variable, let's say my loop variable. More like, no, sorry, loop amount times. So the amount of times we're gonna do loop. And we're gonna set it to the number 3. Okay. So once we talk to the character, we set the loop amount of times to 3. Let me give you a tutorial, then we proceed to go inside the loop. And once the loop, all the text been explained, we're gonna just remove subtract the value 1 from the loop amount of times, which is then gonna become 2, then 1, then 0, then -1, and over and over and over. And all we need to do here is add a little condition that's gonna say that if my variable loop amount of times equals 0, then we're gonna break the loop. So basically, start at 3, proceeds to explain, reduce the loop amount of time at 2, then we're gonna do it again because loop amount of time doesn't equal 0 yet. So proceed the second time, then it's gonna equal 1, so not 0 yet, we're gonna proceed again, and then it's gonna equal 0, finally gonna get out, and we're gonna break the loop. So let's see how it goes. Alright, let's start with our NPC here. Let me give you a tutorial, then proceeds to explain the tutorial. We're now at 2, proceeds to do it again, and again. And then since we were finally at the variable's value 0, it breaks the loop, and we finally managed to get out. And so the loop is over. So that's one of the ways you can use variables with loops, is just set the amount of time that you want the loop to repeat itself for whatever reason or purpose that you need. Then once it's reached finally 0, or a specific amount that you have inside your head, doesn't have to be 0, it's just the example we needed here. It could have been another variable which represents, let's say, the amount of code the party has currently, or whatever you want, basically. And once it finally meets your condition, then you can break the loop and keep your journey going. Okay, so that's it for today's tutorial on loops and how you can use them. We'll see in future tutorials how you can use loops to implement gameplay elements. Make sure to like, subscribe, leave some comments and whatever, and I'll see you later for another video. Bye! Goodbye.